ሰላም ጤና ይስጥልኝ ተማሪዎች እንደምን አላችሁ? በዛሬው ዕለት የ12ኛ ክፍል የኢኮኖሚክስ ትምህርት ማለት ነው። ከዚህ በፊት ቪዲዮ ሰርተን መማራችን ይታወቃል። ለግንዛቤ ይረዷቸው ዘንድ ደግሞ ምዕራፍ 2 ስለ አግሪጌት ዲማንድ ላይ ያተኮሩ አንድ 20 ጥያቄ አዘጋጅቼላችኋለሁ። እነሱን አብረን በጋራ መስራት ይኖርብናል። ከዚያ በፊት ለዩቲዩብ ቻናሉ አዲስ ከሆናችሁ ሰብስክራይብ እንድታደርጉ በዚህ አጋጣሚ ጠይቃችኋለሁ። አሁን ቀጥታ ወደ ጥያቄዎቹ ነው የምንሄደው። በምዕራፍ 2.1 ላይ ያለው አግሪጌት ዲማንድ የሚል ርዕስ ነው። በሱ ስር የተዘጋጁ ጥያቄዎች ናቸው። ስለ አግሪጌት ሳፕላይ ደግሞ በሚቀጥለው እንሰራለን ማለት ነው። የመጀመሪያው ጥያቄ ዋት ዳዝ አግሪጌት ዲማንድ ሪፕሬዘንትስ የሚል ነው። ቶታል ኳንቲቲ ኦፍ ጉድስ ፕሮዲውስስ ዋን ቱ ሴል total spending by all sectors in the economy, government expenditure only, total saving in an economy የሚሉ ምርጫዎች ተሰጥተዋል። ከዚህ ውስጥ ትክክለኛው መልስ ሊሆን የሚችለውን እስኪ እናንተ ደግሞ ሞክሩ። ኦኬ፣ አመሰግናለሁ። ለዚህ መልስ የሚሆነው እንግዲህ total spending by all sectors in the economy የሚለው ይሆናል ማለት ነው። ሁለተኛው ጥያቄ which one of the following is not a component of aggregate demand የሚል ነው። የአግሪጌት ዲማንድ ኮምፖነንት ያልሆነው የተጠየቀው ኮንሰምፕሽን፣ ኢንቨስትመንት፣ ገቨርንመንት ፐርቼዝ፣ ኔት ኢምፖርት ይላል። ስለዚህ ትክክለኛው መልስ ኔት ኢምፖርት የሚለው ይሆናል ማለት ነው። ሶስተኛ ጥያቄ the formula for aggregate demand is C plus I plus G plus X plus M in the bracket C plus I plus G plus in the bracket X minus M C plus S plus T plus in the bracket X minus M C plus I plus T plus in the bracket X minus M. ትክክለኛው መልስ C plus consumption plus investment plus G plus net export. net export ማለት export minus import ማለት ነው። አራተኛው ጥያቄ what primarily determine household consumption C in the aggregate demand? interest rate, disposable income, exchange rate, business tax. ትክክለኛው መልስ B disposable income. Investment spending I includes government welfare payments, household purchase of stocks, private purchase of structure and equipment, export earning. ትክክለኛው private purchase of structure and equipment. ስድስተኛ government purchase G refers to transfer payments only, spending on final goods and service, tax revenue collection, foreign aid. ትክክለኛው መልስ spending on final goods and service. ትራንስፈር ፔመንትስ እና ፎሬን ኤድ ብዙውን ጊዜ በገቨርንመንት ፐርቼዝ ውስጥ እንደማይካተቱ ከዚህ በፊት ተነጋግረናል። ሰባተኛ ጥያቄ ኔት ኤክስፖርት ኦር export minus import are determined by domestic income only, relative price and exchange rates, government budget balance, interest rate. The correct answer for this question is B, relative price and exchange rate. The aggregate demand curve slopes downward because of supply, low supply, the real balance effect, interest rate effect, and international trade effect, increase return to scale, government intervention. The aggregate demand curve slopes downward because the answer is the real balance effect, interest rate effect, and international trade effect. The real balance effect states that a higher price level increases the real value of money, reduces purchasing power, and decreases quantity demand of real GDP, encourages more spending, lowers interest rates. The correct answer is B, reduce purchasing power and decrease quantity demand of GDP. According to the interest rate effect, a rise in price level leads lower interest rates and more investment, higher interest rates and less investment spending, no change in interest rates, increase money supply. B, the higher interest rates and less investment spending. The international trade effect explains that a higher domestic price level makes export cheaper, makes imports more expensive, reduces net export and quantity demand of real GDP, increases foreign demand for domestic goods. The correct answer is reduce net export and quantity demand of real GDP. 12ኛ ጥያቄ, a movement along the aggregate demand curve is caused by a change in consumer confidence, the price level, the government spending, technology. The correct answer is B, means the price level. A rightward shift of the AD curve can be caused by a decrease in consumer wealth, an increase in government spending, a rise in taxes, a decrease in exports. The correct answer is an increase in government spending. Which factor would decrease aggregate demand? Increase in wealth, decrease in income tax, rise in interest rates, fall in exchange rates, or depreciation? The correct answer is C, rise in interest rates. If consumers expect higher future price, what happens to current AD? AD decrease, aggregate demand decrease, aggregate demand increases, aggregate demand remains unchanged, aggregate demand shifts left. Aggregate demand increases. A decrease in business tax will likely decrease investment and aggregate demand. Increase investment and aggregate demand have no effect on aggregate demand, only affect consumption. Increase investment and aggregate demand. An appreciation of the domestic currency will increase export and aggregate demand, decrease import and aggregate demand, decrease net export and aggregate demand, increase government spending. The correct answer is C, decrease net export and aggregate demand. Which of the following is a policy variable that can shift aggregate demand? Foreign economic activity, technological change, monetary policy, weather condition. The correct answer is C, monetary policy. If foreign national income rises, what happens to countries' aggregate demand? Aggregate demand decrease, aggregate demand increase, no change, aggregate demand becomes vertical. The correct answer is B. The last question is, the aggregate demand curve is drawn within on the vertical axis and on the horizontal axis, price level, or GDP, interest rates, investment, nominal GDP, unemployment, consumption, income. The correct answer is A, price level. The aggregate demand curve is drawn within the price level on the vertical axis and real GDP on the horizontal axis. Thank you very much.